So O'Keefe has like put up the video on Project Veritas, which is fucking great. I love the conservative like new media projects.
Oh, wait, guys, hold on a second. We got a call coming in on the Chapo line.
Right. Chapo hotline.
Chapo hotline. Chapo Trap House here. May I ask who's calling? We've got Sebastian Gorka on the line.
No way.
Do you recognize my lonesome and yet threatening piano playing, in fact? Yes, Mr. Chapo. It has been too long since we danced, and I noticed that you have trod with others upon the ballroom floor. You're lucky that jealousy is not one of the personality traits common in the Gorka dynasty.
Sebastian, I'm glad you're calling in because we really wanted to talk to you about an amazing article about you in this month's issue of Recoil magazine.
Yes, of course. The old press, the ancien regime has crumbled, and there is a new press, a new media, where there are new stars, such as myself, who form new constellations to take over your withering ways. I am Orion Ascendant. The ink of Recoil shall prove it.
There was some great color in this article, Sebastian, and
yes, there's been some amusement, some giggling among the schoolboys of the left.
I want to ask you in particular, when Recoil magazine asked you about your dream job, you write here, you responded, after teaching thousands of Marines, FBI agents, and Tier 1 operators, and then being a deputy assistant to the president, maybe owning a rural log cabin store that sells tactical firearms and fine cigars.
Very cool.
Well, yes, it's a dream. At this very moment, I am helicoptering around Northern Virginia looking for the perfect site where I might locate my Carpathian Appalachian bunker.
Professor, isn't this kind of a step down for you?
What greater dream is there of a proud, bull-shaped chauvinist of the white race than to hunker down in a bunker and to smoke cigars, of which there are only two acceptable kinds: pre-Castro Cubans or antebellum Virginians.
What about certain cigars?
And to clean your collection of guns? Yes, Mr. Chapo. I'm sorry I cut you off, and I apologize for cutting you off, but not for the future where I cut off your head.
Well, we got some time before that. What about certain cigars confiscated from certain business owners in the 1930s in Central Europe?
Yes, I understand. My private collection you're referring
to. Sebastian, the other thing from this article that's gotten a lot of play, probably the most amount of play among the Twitterati, is your daily carry. Recoil magazine had a rundown of your everyday carry, which includes a Glock 29 customized by Robar Guns with a Shark Tac trigger guard cover, and a Smith & Wesson MP 9mm full size with RDS and compact frame customized by Robar Guns, carried in a holster by DH Custom Leather. Could you just tell us?
That was my one quibble, Mr. Chapo, with the Recoil article, is that they woefully censored my arsenal.
So you're saying that you carry way more stuff than was...
Well, yes, at this very moment, I'm carrying 14 firearms. Allow me to take you on a little mini tour. I happen to be cleaning them here at the moment. Let's take a look here. Right here I have a Heckler & Koch 9mm. Nothing upsetting about that, of course. You'll see next to it there's a Heckler & Jekyll & Koch. 9mm. I have, as well, an antique Elmer Fudd double-barrel breech-loading 12-gauge blunderbuss. And when fired upon a victim, it only blackens their face. It's a non-lethal weapon.
Will it blow the ducks' bills backwards on their heads?
I never leave my home or check into a hotel without a fully automatic Uzi submachine gun that's on loan from the A-Team Museum, complete with the complete with the leisure suit-wearing goons that go with it. I frequently brunch with a pistol on the table, which is a tiny horse pistolet, in case I'm surprised. At brunch at a brothel. I'm not limited to these firearms, of course. I always have at my side at the ready the slaying hammer, the gouging knife. I ride into my daily battle upon Stonewall Jackson's blundering battle from 1863, the Battle of Chancellorsville, my prized possession.
It makes clear that in addition to the guns, you also carry a blade, a tactical flashlight, a Zippo lighter that you bought while visiting the Sinai that has been retrofitted with a jet insert to light cigars. Just Sebastian, the other item in your everyday carry that caught my eye was what's known as a CAT tourniquet that you say I can deploy with one hand.
A cat?
Yeah, a cat tourniquet that you can deploy with one hand.
I prove it to myself on a monthly basis by firing a firearm into my left hand and applying a tourniquet with the right hand to make sure that I am always at the ready. Such is the standard of the Vitasia end. Any of you members of the Alt Left, any of you Antifa fools, would make the error of attacking me. I should let you know that my home is set up like Clue Master Detective, where there are incalculable weapons in every room, and I am the Colonel Mustard in each of them. I am an honorary Colonel Mustard in the Kentucky State Militia. Did I neglect to mention, Mr. Chapo, that I also enjoy the use of a gas gun that I permanently borrowed from Darkwing Duck. And I ride down on a motorcycle with a sidecar. And I deploy my gas gun when necessary upon MSNBC.
Sebastian, the other bit of personal color that you offered to Recoil magazine is it said that you listed your favorite film as Blade Runner, Ridley Scott's Blade Runner. I was just wondering, what about that film do you like so much?
Blade Runner is a towering achievement of boredom in cinema. And the inevitable decline of the old race and replacement with the new.
Have you had a chance to see the new Blade Runner, the sequel?
Yes, indeed. And I had the honor of consulting on the new production of Blade Runner.
Really?
Yes. Being somewhat enamored of the original, I advised them on stunts they were trying to perform. Sun Tzu, future warfare, and so forth, tactical, broken back warfare and things like that. Of course, I could give you a little tidbit. The scene where Harrison Ford is in the sinking flying car in the water.
Yeah.
He was intended to get out of it much faster, but he was very lazy and stoned, and he just sat there and they kept filming as he sunk into the water. He could not figure out how to open the seatbelt, the bloody fool. The
other thing that you mentioned, it says, when asked, what do you do for fun? You said, once a month, I join my FFL for a night of full auto shooting. Tommy guns, HK MP5s, HK 53s, etc. And you also rummage through the local comic book and used sci-fi bookstore. It says you grew up on Doctor Who and Judge Dredd, and you never quite get it out of your bloodstream. So,
yes, there's an infinite array of references that I can pepper into my future appearances. Rest assured, Mr. Chapo. Starship Troopers, the works of Isaac Asimov, of course.
I'm just wondering, A
Wrinkle in Time. I was enamored of A Wrinkle in Time, except I root for the evil brain creature.
I was wondering, in your time in the White House, did you have a chance to speak with Donald Trump or anyone else in his inner circle about about science fiction?
If you're asking if I had time to unfurl a Gorka flag on the front like Cobra Commander, I did make a plan to do that, but it was not televised because the media censored it.
Have you shared your love of classic science fiction with the president?
Mr. Trump, I introduced to some of the secret underground science fiction of Charles Lindbergh, and he found it quite liberating.
I'm glad he appreciated that. Sebastian, obviously this profile of you has gotten a lot of interest. Do you feel that your post-White House life is rewarding? Do you find it as
Yes. This is the ascendance of the new media, which is eclipsing the old, as I said before. The sun has set on your age, but the age of Aquarius has sunk below the horizon. And now we find ourselves in the age of Capricorn, the slaughtering of the ram, you see. There is a new media. Today, there's an interview in Recoil magazine. Tomorrow, look for an interview in Earplug magazine. Look for an interesting little Q&A in Gunpowder Gazette. And of course, I am caught Braxton bragging a bit in the blind item in the Confederate Monthly, Home and Garden edition, of course.
So life in the private sector is treating you well?
There is no sector but the private sector. The public sector shall be removed, as the Irish once were.
One last tidbit here from Recoil magazine. That when they asked you if you might have if you're sort of a career student, you answered, "When people call me an academic or a professor, I bristle. In all my studies and teaching, I have one question: so what? Knowledge for the sake of knowledge is useless. I want to know how that knowledge changes what we do, especially when it comes to prosecuting war and protecting the Republic." And I was just hoping you could expand a little bit about this philosophy of knowledge that you have.
Yes, that statement was an accidental inclusion in the interview. I kept the phone lines open and then fell asleep and took a little nap, and I was speaking in my sleep. Those are my dreams, Mr. Chapo. The prosecution of war, the torturing of captives, a steampunk revolution where its fanaticism is rewarded with gunshots, grapeshot.
Well, Sebastian,
if you can find my Austro-Hungarian bunker deep in the woods of Alexandria, I invite you to come on down. There's an abandoned railroad track. You might hand pop crank yourself down the railroad track and see me, Mr. Chapo.
Sebastian Gorka.
Send up a reconnaissance balloon. Float on by the bunker, Mr. Chapo.
Always a pleasure talking to you, Sebastian Gorka. Please call in whenever you like.
Yes, of course, and then I shall keep you informed of my plans to launch a missile directly upwards and then back down onto the Capitol. Directly ripped from the pages of Moonraker. My life plan.
Sebastian Gorka, always a pleasure and a joy to talk to Dr. Sebastian Gorka, Esquire.